Hello, I'm Ioannidou. I'm a reader in competition law at the School of Law of Queen Mary University in London, and I would like to briefly talk to you about one of our courses within the competition law specialism, EU State Aid Law. This course is very interesting for those of you that have basic knowledge in EU competition law and want to acquire in-depth knowledge in an adjacent area of law, if I may, EU State Aid Law. We'll be discussing the notion of aid, i.e. the public conferral of selective advantage to private players in a given economy, looking at different conditions of aid. We will be looking at EU Commission decisional practice. We'll be looking at the involvement of various actors, EU courts as well as national courts. We will also be looking at the policy behind state aid because it has increased its relevance, not only in the context of the Commission asking member states to give back the selective advantage they have given to big multinationals such as Apple, Fiat or Starbucks, but also in the context of recently the COVID pandemic or the energy crisis, or before the banking crisis. It showed that EU state aid law, EU state aid policy is really adaptable to address various challenges that different member states' economies were facing at the time. Why is it for you? It's because for those of you that want to have a career as practicing lawyers in the field of competition law, a big part of your practice will come from EU state aid law cases. If you choose either to work in Brussels or in different member states, it's also relevant for those of you that have an interest in the field outside the core competition law Article 101, Article 102 application against agreements or abuse of dominance. It's relevant also for those of you that come from jurisdictions that are now seeking to develop a regime similar to EU state aid law. And I'm thinking here China and the recent MOU they have signed with the EU, which contains specifically EU state aid law provisions. In terms of assessment, it is assessed through an essay which will give you the opportunity to develop and research in depth a specific topic that you have an interest in. So this is to let you develop your own opinions in a different area. So in terms of assessment, it will be assessed via an essay at the end of the lectures on a topic of your choice. And this is really a course which is very interesting and very much developing with the new EU Commission taking its seat and putting an emphasis on the EU state aid framework and various ways through which it needs to be modernized.